What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's doing excellent. You're having an awesome summer. It is absolutely flying by. What that means is training camp is here, which is great. So, on paper, the Jets have assembled one of the best rosters in the NFL. Every time I say that, I get ripped to shreds, but they have legitimate game-breaking talent on both sides of the ball. So, it is what it is. That's what I believe. So, now, as the team heads into training camp, you look at some of the biggest storylines. And for me, front and center is the offensive line. Douglas went out and made a power move getting Tyron Smith. He traded for Morgan Moses. You have AVT coming off another injury. Tippmann year 2. You got Simpson from the Ravens. Now it's a matter of getting all these guys on the same page and on the field at the same time as fast as possible. You want them to be a cohesive unit, and you're hoping that the experience of Smith and Moses can maybe offset some of the challenges they had with the coaching staff, with Carter and Downing and Hackett, and they clean up a lot of these mistakes. The goal for this team is you have to be ready week 1 because you want to keep Aaron Rodgers upright. Also, behind the offensive line, behind the starting group, you want to develop the depth of it. You have Olu there, you have Carter Warren, but you want to see this. You want to have a really good next man up here because it is paramount to A, protect Aaron Rodgers, and B, run the football. So I'm curious to see how they play this out. Like last year, they did a lot of jumbling around where every offensive lineman played 2 different positions. I mean, you saw Becton playing left and right, and he bounced these guys all around. You're wondering if they learned their lesson from AVT and said, you know what? They're going to play in one spot and let him become a master of his craft, especially Olu. I don't want to see him screw with this kid. Like, let this kid just learn from Tyron, become a very, very good left tackle. If he has to play, he plays, but he's familiar with the system, and he's comfortable with the whole offense and what he has to do. From there, you look at, to me, another big story is the Jets have a lot of young players they're going to count on to make a lot of plays. So you want to see them grow and be coached up as fast as possible, especially on offense. They're going to be counting on, 2 rookies at running back. You have, Ruckert at tight end, all the young receivers, Corley, Brownlee, Gibson, Charles. I don't really count Lazard anymore, but a lot of these guys are going to be counting on make big plays. So you want to see great competition, and you want to see continued improvement all throughout the preseason and hopefully going into the regular season. And if they don't see that, or if injuries do start piling up, you're hoping that Joe Douglas is aggressive to make moves. And the reason why I say that, this is a win now year, you don't want to see excuses, and you don't want to start off slow because of some holes in your roster. You got to maximize every opportunity here. So if you have a plan for certain players and it's not working out, say 3 weeks in the training camp, you have to make a change and make a change. You got to make a power move, make one. Like don't hesitate with it. On defense, you got some young guys you want to see things from too. Like the Reddick thing, I'm not going to panic about right now. Where I understand he was holding out through OTAs and minicamp, but you kind of get the feeling that the Jets give him some guaranteed money or work something out, he'll be here. So if he holds out a couple days, I'm not going to panic. If it gets into a week, 2 weeks, then you're going to question both the player and the general manager because you traded for a guy that you knew had a contract problem. So that contract problem you inherited, and you have to deal with it. So I'm not going to worry too much about Reddick right now, but you also want to see big things from Will McDonald because you're counting on Jermaine Johnson, Reddick, Will McDonald for the pass rush. Obviously, Quinn Williams in the middle, but that's what you're looking for. Michael Clemens, another guy where the Jets tinker with their interior defensive line, making some changes. He's got to be a contributor, more than just special teams. At safety, Chuck Clark, where we all loved him last year, but he didn't play at all. So you got to see what that safety position is. Is he the hybrid safety linebacker, box guy that we thought he is? Tony Adams will take another big step at safety. What do you expect out of Ashton Davis? Other than that, the storylines, the Aaron Rodgers one isn't as much of one for me. Last year, there was a lot of fanfare. I think we all assume he's going to come back, healthy, in shape, and raring to go with an enormous chip on his shoulder. And you're not going to see a lot in practice. When him throwing passes in shorts and shorts and a t-shirt, you're not worried about. I think when you see the joint practices, is maybe when you learn a little bit. But I'm curious to see how they handle him. Will he play more in the preseason? He didn't play much last year. Will you get him out there to get that game, the speed of the game back, get the flow back, figure out the offense? The other thing you're curious to see is how Saleh handles all this. This is a team with very high expectations. Does he, embrace it, or does he keep them kind of like, what? Let's do less talking and do more action here. We kind of got smacked in the face last year for being kings of the world, kings of the offseason, and then the regular season was a complete nightmare. So kind of maybe embrace let's just keep our mouths shut and just attack the season with just proving everybody wrong. Getting rid of all the critics, getting rid of all the doubters. other than that, I mean, there's not really a lot of storylines to follow. It's just you're excited. You want to see everybody get to week 1 healthy. That's the most important thing, and prepared. I mean, you're opening up the season against one of the best teams in the NFL, and you have all this time to prepare for it. So it's like, get on the same page. You have literally no excuses and no more scapegoats. You have talent, you have depth, you have all-stars, you have Pro Bowlers, you have all kinds of stuff here. So all-stars, I mean, all pro guys. So it's just a matter of finally putting it all together. And people keep telling me again this weekend, somebody's like, dude, how can you buy into the Jets? First of all, as a fan, this is what you look forward to. Like, we wait the entire offseason for the season to start, right? Or even training camp I'm excited about. But to be like, yeah, no, it's not, it's destined to fail. Then why even be a fan, man? You can easily buy into a team that features guys, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's Quincy Williams. There's so much talent here. It's like, how can you not be excited? It's now or never in my eyes. And you're like, I'm not even counting on next year. Like, this has got to be the year. So, going to be fun. You know, training camp is always interesting. You want to see the team stay healthy. You're curious to see the other thing with their offensive line is how Saleh handles the practice schedule for Moses and Tyron. But other than that, you know, the spotlight is on this team. Like I said earlier, no excuses, man. So I don't want, it's just put up or shut up time for Saleh, Hackett, everybody. If it doesn't work out this year, 95% of this team's going to be gone next year. Talk to you later.